Hello there. My name is Julia, and I'm the volunteer coordinator here at the Pacific Road Museum of Natural History. Welcome to Digital Science Saturday Amazing Migrations. Today we're going to delve into the word migration and find out a little bit more about what it means. So what is migration? Well, it's the regular movement of all or part of an animal population from one given area to another. Migration is a really common feature in all major animal groups, and familiar migrants include many birds, bats, whales, porpoises, fish like salmon, and plenty of insects, like our famous winter visitor, the monarch butterfly. Humans actually migrate too. In fact, nearly 272 million, over 3% of the world's population, live outside of the country of their birth, more than ever before in human history. So, why do organisms migrate instead of just staying where they are? Most migration is seasonal, occurring on an annual or yearly basis. This is often to escape the cooler climates in certain areas. Winter brings storms of hail, snow, and even flooding, which changes the habitat, making food sources, water, and shelter harder to find. And those are the essentials of survival. So if these organisms are to survive, they have to leave in order to find the resources they need. Other animals migrate to areas that are better for reproduction and raising young. For example, the steelhead trout that lives in our local rivers migrate to the ocean as adults after undergoing a process called smoltification. They then return upstream to their original hatching grounds to spawn, so the next generation can go through the same gradual process, in sort of a loop. Are there any animals that you see in certain times of the year but not others? One local migrator that I often notice is the Townsend warbler, which migrates from the Pacific Northwest down here to the western coast of the US and into Mexico. It's always a really happy sight when I start to see these adorable birds in the fall. When we think of migration, it's usually horizontal migration that comes to mind. Organisms moving across the land or sea, traversing a few miles or a few thousand miles. Gray whales, for example, are horizontal migrators, making their way from the cooler waters of the North Pacific to the warm lagoons of Baja California, perfect for having their babies or calves. So they migrate for reproductive reasons, like we talked about earlier. Other horizontal migrators include birds, mammals like elk and deer, and insects like monarchs. Now, other organisms migrate vertically. Certain aquatic organisms, for example, move from the deep water to the surface. Zooplankton feed on phytoplankton, and since phytoplankton rely on the sunlight to photosynthesize, they are found right near the ocean's surface. To avoid being prey themselves, the zooplankton feed on the phytoplankton at the surface when darkness falls in the nighttime, and they move to deeper, darker water during the day to avoid being eaten themselves. Other organisms perform a mix of the two types. Mule deer in Wyoming, for example, spend their winters in the red desert at low elevation before migrating 150 miles north and 4,000 feet up into the craggy mountains of southern Yellowstone Park. That's where they spend their summers. Their migration is both horizontal and vertical, or elevational migration. Just as the Monterey Bay is great for year-round human tourists, it's also a great resting spot for migrators. The Central Coast's moderate climate provides excellent living conditions and habitat, especially during the winter. The Monterey Bay Canyon supplies a well of nutrients from the deep that fuels the food web. Elkhorn Slough near Moss Landing also has an excess of food for visitors. It provides a safe shelter from predators and storms. There are countless more habitats in Monterey County that assist thousands of migrators each year. We hope you get out to explore them soon. Thanks for watching and happy Digital Science Saturday.
For more information, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.